Good morning. It's Johnny Sunshine. Have a great day, guys. I think it's St. Patrick's Day, man. I don't know how that works anymore. Bella, stop it. Do you go out on Saturday and get hammered and sleep all day Sunday, or do you go out tonight and get hammered and not show up for work tomorrow? Let me know. I don't know, man, how that works when St. Patty's Day is on a Sunday. I don't miss those days of being hungover and I just can't imagine. They're tough people, man. People who are alcoholics and addicts and people who overindulge are just tough as fucking nails, man. To get up and crawl out of bed and, be a functioning, semi-functioning person after doing that to yourself. Ugh. I don't miss it, man. It's been 31 years now, 32 years. And I'm happy I don't have to deal with that in my life, Imagine if I was a hungover fucking alcoholic. Well, I wouldn't be in the same position I am. Today I'm wearing my throwback uniforms. These were the uniforms that I had for my company. Guys had blue pants and these pinstripe blue shirts. Very clean looking. We had a uniform company that would pick up our uniforms on Friday, I think. At some point during the week, they'd pick up our uniforms and they'd drop off a new set. I think each guy had 11 or 12 sets of uniforms with their name on it and the company. But we looked nice and squared away. I took stuff from every, that was the military influence in me, that, you go in the Army or the Navy and you got people from all walks of life, and they cut your hair and they put you in a uniform, and all of a sudden you look squared away. You're transformed. And I believe that when it comes to a business, guys need to be looking sharp, man. They need to have a presence about them. They can't be bummy looking, wearing, whatever. Every guy wearing something else. Dirty old pair of fucking jeans with glue all over them. Appearance means everything, man. And then you couple that with doing a good job, being respectful, leaving a place cleaner than it was when you got there. It's just a lot of little things you can do that can separate you from your competition, and you can make a good living, man. You can make a good living working for yourself. I will tell you that these big companies, I fear for our industry. We've built something here. I think of investors, these big boys, these big companies, or big investment groups. When they talk about emerging markets, what they mean by that is that, we see these people are making pretty good money. You got some guys, the owners of businesses, making, from $200,000-300,000 a year up to whatever. The sky's the limit. But these people look at that like, that's money we can have. So they're taking over our industry. Wouldn't surprise me that if in 20 years there are these huge companies with 400 or 500 trucks and big call centers, and they could very easily, if they wanted, if their business plan, they could come in and do shit real cheap and put you out of business, like Home Depot puts local hardware stores out of business and Walmart puts local markets out of business. This is how they operate, man. They are what do you call them? I don't know. I just woke up, guys, but I can see this happening, man. I did see a thing about a company out in California, and they had to have 200 people in a call center answering calls, man. So I think there'll always be room for a 1 or 2 man shop. With you get a good customer base, you can hang on to that, and people prefer that. But I think the vast majority, unfortunately, this is our industry is an emerging market for the there is a word that I just can't think of right now. Predators. The predatory investment group. These guys, they like, well, hey Joe, these fucking plumbers are making all kinds of money. They're living a little too good. They're getting they're establishing themselves. Let's fucking blow them out of the water and buy a couple, 3, 4, 5 companies in an area, and let's just put them all out of fucking business. That's what they do, man. It sounds terrible. It is terrible, but that's what they do. These motherfucking people have no conscience, man. That's just my thought on that. It's St. Patrick's Day. Even Irish drunks have to have a fucking, have their own holiday. I'm Irish. My family, we owned a liquor store. My grandfather owned a liquor store. He was the president of the Rhode Island Liquor Association. So alcohol, he may have even been a runner back there when they had prohibition. Who knows? I mean, he was born in the 1800s, 1897, and Irish people are a little wily, They like to skirt around things. Well, I don't know, man. It could have been what my grandfather was doing. He was very successful, very young. Who knows what he was up to? He was a builder. He was a very smart guy. Built houses. He was a developer. Also ran had a liquor store. And he was very successful. Gussie has figured out a way to get out of the house, go to the bathroom, and then boogie back in there. He doesn't come this way anymore so I can see him. He goes the opposite way. He's a very, very, very smart dog. But if he had his druthers, he would just lay in the house all day and sleep, man. Sleep, eat, and shit, That's it, man. Like Donald Trump. No, I'm kidding. So guys, I spent a little time yesterday putting a video together of me cooking this wonderful dish. And of course, you get the Republicans slinging mud. One guy said, what's that? Some Democratic jailhouse fucking slop. I don't know. I've never been to jail. I mean, I've been locked up, for stupid shit. Driving on a suspended license more times than I, would like to admit. But I never went to prison, which is a good thing. But I have had my run-ins with the law when I was young, and they weren't serving that fucking shit. So I'm going to tell you a little story about me getting locked up when I was a kid. I had a Le Mans T37. And on the side of it, it said, for the engine size, a 350. I had a 455 in this thing. And I put the engine in myself. I was just a young kid, 18. And had to get the drive shaft cut. I put a 400 turbo transmission in this thing with a 455. And it was a fucking beast. So I had an issue with the transmission lines were leaking where they tie into the radiator on this car. And it was me and, I don't know, my brother, my younger brother, and a couple other guys in the car. And I got it fixed, but I had a bunch of fucking transmission fluid in the back, in my hair, you know, from laying on the ground fixing that. I was just a fucking animal. You know, showering in ATF. Yeah, it's good. So, we're downtown Providence to test drive this thing. And we're in the police station is literally around the corner from where we were at a red light. We were in the middle of a long line of people stopped at a red light. And Johnny thought it'd be a great time to smoke up the fucking wheels, you know? So I fucking I nail the brake to the floor and I just fucking whack it. Floor the fucking engine, and its smoke is just pouring out of the fucking goddamn car, coming up through the speaker holes in the back of the fucking car. And we're laughing and having fun. Next thing we know, there's a cop standing on the side of my fucking car. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I said, you know, we're just having fun, officer. He said, "Get the fuck out of this car. Pull it over." So I pulled over, and I had a suspended license, and off to jail I went, you know. I told my brother, the cop was nice enough to let my brother drive the fucking car home. I don't even know if he had a fucking license, but anyways, my car didn't get towed. My brother drove it home. And then what he did with my car while I was on vacation is another fucking story. Two crazy motherfuckers living in South Providence. Yeah. But anyways, so off to jail I go with a head full of fucking automatic transmission fluid. And I'm there all fucking night. I'm going to court the next morning. And they come through at like fucking 5 o'clock in the morning. And what they had was for breakfast, I'm talking about food. And this guy talking about my food looks like jailhouse slop. There was a McDonald's down the street from the police station. And every night the McDonald's would just give them all the food that was left over. The stuff that was cooked, you know. Before they closed the doors, they'd throw it all in a fucking box and they'd send it up to the police station. And that's what you got for fucking breakfast. So I can hear the guy coming in the morning, you know. I'm in my cell. And it was a busy weekend, man. There was a bunch of drug raids going on. There were like a fucking 400 people in this fucking jail. And I was the last one to get out. Fucking dumb shit. Everybody got out but me. Anyways, here comes the guy with the food. And he's passing out cold fucking hamburgers and coffee. Well, he gets to me. And he's got a fucking, the only thing left was a fucking cold hamburger and a pack of sugar. That's what I got. So I fucking wolfed that cold fucking nasty, crusty, hard, stale ass fucking hamburger down. And then I ate the pack of sugar. That's jailhouse food, man. With my fucking ATF hairdo. Yeah, that was cute when I went into the court. The lady's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I said, "I was driving on a suspended license." What the fuck? It ain't a, you know, capital fucking crime. Jesus Christ, man, I'm a kid. With my hair all matted to the back of my fucking, that's when I had hair. I had a lot of hair 10 years ago, guys. You can't imagine that. I was not even close to being bald. I was fucking hairy as a Wolverine. But the chemo took its toll on me, and I don't care, you know. So anyways, yeah, that pack of sugar and that fucking nasty hamburger was really good after being in that cell for a fucking 20 hours or 24 hours. Yeah, it was not fun, but I have many of those stories. Many. Johnny Boy got locked up a lot when I was a kid, before I went in the Navy, and once or twice after I got in the Navy. Yeah. I was a rogue. I was an Irish rogue. In where I lived, you had to be tough, man. You had to be tough. But anyways, that was one of my stories of going to jail. Maybe I'll share a few more. They are pretty funny when I look back on them. I'll tell you about the time where I punched a cop in the side of his fucking head and almost knocked him out. They said, you've got to charge assault on a Leo. I was like, what? The guy was born in August? He's like, no, he's a law enforcement officer. Leo. Ow. I'm a lot dumber than I look. Yeah. I'll tell you that story. So we get pulled over. The cops thought there were drugs in my car. They start tearing apart my car. I had a Berlinetta. My sister, I bought her car off of her. It was a badass Berlinetta, Camaro Berlinetta with T-tops. Real nice car, but it had a blown engine when I bought it from her. So I went and I bought a high output fucking 305 engine with a fucking nitrous plate on it. It was a badass engine. I put it in, and we were cruising around in that, me and my younger brother, and we got in a lot of trouble together, but yeah. So anyways, we're standing outside the car, and there was one cop, and this cop ended up killing himself. He was a total fucking nutcase, big Irish guy, and he was a fucking lunatic. So anyways, he takes my brother over to the paddy wagon. This has to do with, you know, they call it a paddy wagon because of all the Irish guys that get arrested. So anyways, they take my brother over to the paddy wagon, and this guy starts beating him up, man. He's my younger brother, you know. So he starts punching him around, throwing him in the back of the fucking paddy wagon, and I wasn't happy about that. I was in the Navy at this time, and he comes and he grabs me, and I got no handcuffs on, man. He's got me, walks me up to the side of that van, and he pushes my head up against the side of the van a little rougher than I'd like. And I turned around. He started like trying to beat me up, you know. So I turned around and I fucking sucker shot at this motherfucker right in the side of his fucking head, man. Hard. Like, and he was big. I had to like reach up to get him, but I got him good, man. I fucking KO'd this motherfucker, and I took off running. And when I got about a block away, I was like, I'm not going to run from the cops, man. I didn't do shit. They don't have anything on me besides punching this guy in the face. So I run back, and I run up to another cop, and I say, hey, man, if you're going to arrest me, please. Put me in the back of your car. This guy's a fucking lunatic. I'm not going to stand here and get my ass beat by this fucking cop. So the cop was nice. He knew that his fellow officer was a fucking nut, and he put me in the back of his car, took me down to the police station, put me in a fucking cell, and the cop I punched comes by, and he's like grabbing his jaw, and he's like, man, you got a pretty good right, man. I was like, that's right, motherfucker. So that was my assault on a Leo. Why couldn't it have been a Pisces or something? I don't know. Probably too much information, but my life's an open book, guys. For you young kids out there, maybe going down the wrong path, I'm telling you, It was fun. No, I'm kidding. Don't do it. Don't do it. Make good decisions. So honestly, I'll be honest, man. I don't know. 40 years later, I think they probably dropped the statute of limitations or whatever, but I never went to court on that when I was in the Navy, and I just never showed up for anything back in them days. So I had a charge, assault on a law enforcement officer, and I never went to court. So someday Johnny, even at 60, may get locked up for assault on a law enforcement officer, even though the guy blew his own fucking head off. I mean, he was not right, man. This dude had fucking issues, and he was taking out his problems on innocent victims. You know, like a lot of cops do, unfortunately. So, there you go, guys. Couple of fucking, on St. Patrick's Day, a couple of stories about how you can get in trouble. And, so what the moral of the story is, there is none. No, I'm kidding. Don't be stupid today. Don't get drunk. Don't cause yourself problems. Don't get a DUI. Think, man. Think. If you're gonna get fucking hammered, just stay home, man. You know, maybe you know, if you fall and you crush the fucking coffee table, who gives a fuck? You're not gonna go to jail for that. But if you end up in the woods in your car, that's not good for you or anybody around you. This is another session of TMI with Johnny Phillips. Yeah, too much information. But I did get that motherfucker good, man. I got him good, man. And I was up. I had a fucking knockout punch back in them days, guys. I mean, I'm serious. I've knocked a couple guys out in my day. Put them to sleep. They had to come scrape them off the floor with a fucking throw them on a stretcher and take them out at the club. That's another story I'll share with you someday. Me and my brother again. He gets punched in the face and I knocked the fucking guy out cold. Knocked out cold. And this guy that I punched was definitely a Tony Plumbob. Tony Plumbob all the fucking way. This fucking Goomba. We're in a club talking to these girls, and this fucking, you know, hey, how you doing? I'm from fucking Brooklyn. Hey. He leans in to light a cigarette back when you could smoke in the fucking club. That was way back in the Fred Flintstone days, but anyways, this girl pulls out a cigarette, puts it in between her lips, and this fucking Goomba fucking leans in right between me and my brother and lights her cigarette, and we look at each other like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing, man? You're not supposed to do that. So we kind of gave him a little bit of shit, and he walks away, and about an hour later, we meander over to the other side. I'll tell you about that girl. Me and her, we hooked up. But that's an interesting story, too. About her and her kid. And yeah, just fucking weird. But anyway, so me and my brother, we go over to this in this club. It was a big club. Club Bandstand here in Sarasota back in the day. And we go over to the other side. There were like 3 or 4 bars in the place, you know. And we walk over to the other side. And I'm standing there with my brother. And this fucking Tony fucking Plumbob comes up. And he starts talking shit. And he sucker shots my brother, man. Punches my brother right in the fucking nose. My brother's nose is fucking bleeding. But just like an involuntary reaction, he hit my brother and I fucking knocked him the fuck out. I came out of nowhere with a right hand right down the middle of his face. And he went back like 6 chairs and fell on the ground, and I ran over to fucking stop punching him again, and yeah, his eyes were wide fucking open. He looked like he died. I was like, oh fuck, I'm in trouble now. And there he laid for like 8 fucking minutes. The cops come. The cops show up. They kicked me and my brother out of the fucking place, but everybody saw what happened, man. And we're sitting outside. They had taken our IDs, and the cops come up to me and they're talking to me. My brother's got blood all over his fucking shirt. Just a fun night out, you know, for a couple of young Irish guys. So anyways, they take our IDs, the cops standing there talking, and here comes Tony Plumbob on a stretcher. And the cop's like, dude, you fucked him up, man. You twisted his nose all fucking up. And they were like, we heard what happened. He attacked your brother and you fucked him up. And I was like, yep. They said, you're good, man. Gave me my license back and we took off, man. Well, the next morning, my brother realized that they didn't give him his license back. So he calls the police department and they said, oh, yeah, we have your license right here. It's at the front desk. So we go up there. By this time, my brother's got 2 black eyes from getting his fucking nose smashed into his face by Tony Plumbob. And he walks up, and the guy, he's looking for his license. He grabs the license, he picks it up, he looks at the license, he looks at my brother. He says, yep, that's you. He hands it to my brother. My brother had a black eye in the fucking driver's license picture. Yeah, he got hit in the head with a log in Rhode Island at a nightclub. That's what we did, man. We were crazy. Yeah. Fucking hilarious. Man, I have so many stories of me and my brother getting in fights, man. Good Lord of Jesus. Good Lord of Jesus. We were little tough guys. We weren't little either, man. We were fucking strong as shit. People didn't want to fuck with us. I mean, they drink some beer, they get some courage, and then they get their fucking ass kicked. That's all I'm saying, Jackson. They used to call me Johnny McEnroe at the bar at the end of the street in the ghetto. I was the only white guy in the fucking place. And my nickname was John McEnroe because they didn't want to fuck with me. No. Guys, I gotta go. I'm ready to shit my pants. And happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. Stay safe, man. Stay safe.